Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over what I think is the best HK build in patch 12.9 of Escape from Tarkov. Now before we get into the video, 99% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with all my Escape from Tarkov videos. And like with all of my builds, there will be a link in the description to the Tarkov Gunsmith website where you can go and easily see all the parts you need for this build and see updated prices for those parts on the flea market. Now the HK and the M4 pretty much share the same slot, especially when you're talking about high-end meta weapons. And overall the M4 does get slightly better stats, but the HK still has pretty good stats and gets 50 higher RPM, so you're having that little bit faster fire rate. So first off, for the sight, you can use whatever sight you want to use, but the other things you have to determine when choosing your sight are what sights you like to use, what range you're going to be using the sight at, and how much the sight is going to affect the erg of the weapon. With this being a 5.56 weapon, pretty much every 5.56 weapon is going to be good at some of the longest ranges you can get to in this game, has a very high muzzle velocity, some of the highest in the game, and is overall a very accurate weapon. So you'll definitely be able to still use some longer range sights on this if you want to. Then we're going to be using rear sight. You can use whatever rear sight gives you an additional ergo. I'm using the Magpul MBus Gen 2. Then we're going to be using the Strike Industries Crux 15-inch M-Lock foregrip. Then we're going to be using the Avalanche Mod 2 charging handle for AR-15. Now there are a few charging handles that do the exact same thing, which is essentially give 3 to the total ergo of the weapon. I think the base ones only give 1, so just get a charging handle that gives you the most ergo possible. Then we're going to be using the 20-inch barrel. Then we're going to be using the HK enhanced buffer tube, and on that we're going to have the Fab Defense GLR16. Now this stock is used to give better ergo, but another really good choice is going to be using the Mo Carbine stock, any of the colors, and then having the butt pad on that. Now going from the GLR to the Mo stock will give you slightly lower recoil reduction at a slightly lower ergo. Now with the stats of this weapon, I think that the GLR is, in my opinion, just a little bit better, getting that higher ergo with how much recoil the build overall has. Then for the pistol grip, we're going to have the Nora Arms Growl S pistol grip. The HK Ergo PSG-1 also gives the same amount of stats, and the Growl is technically better because it is slightly lighter than the HK Ergo, but just get whichever one is cheaper because that weight reduction is not enough to really matter. And then for the magazines, you can pretty much use whatever you want. If you're going to use a 60 rounder, use the round Magpul P mags. They don't lose as much ergo as the silver thicker stick mags do, and personally with the fire rate of this weapon and being a meta built top tier built weapon, I don't think a 30 rounder is really that good to be using, and this build is built specifically around having these 60 round P mags in the weapon. Then for a grip, we're going to be having the Magpul M-Lock 4.1 inch guide, and then on that we're going to be having the Fortis Shift Tactical grip. I think this is one of the best grips in the game, and specifically with this build, this is the grip you're going to want to be using to get that pretty big ergo bump with only slightly worse recoil when comparing it to something like the RK1 or the RK2. Then for the tactical device, we're going to be having the Magpul M-Lock 2.5 inch guide. Then on that, we're going to be having the D-Ball tactical flashlight. I would always recommend having this tactical flashlight whenever you can because it gives the full range of all tactical devices. It gives you the different colored laser pointers, an IR flashlight, and a normal flashlight. It's pretty much the only tactical device that does that. You can use whatever tactical device you want to use depending on what situations you're going to be using the weapon in. Then for the silencer, we're going to be having the Thunder Beast 223CB muzzle brake, and then on that you have the Thunder Beast Ultra 5 sound suppressor. Now this is a very good suppressor because not only is it at the high end of recoil reduction, but it's also much shorter than a lot of the other silencers, and I think a lot of people when making builds don't account for how long the weapon is going to be. Having a full-size rifle is already going to make the weapon pretty long, so you're going to have more difficulties peeking around tighter corners or getting the weapon through doorways so it's up and you're able to fire it, and being able to have a little bit shorter of a silencer definitely helps with the length of the weapon. And then for the last part, we're going to be having the HK low profile gas block. That is the only option for gas blocks for the HK. And that is the entirety of the build. In my opinion, this is easily one of the best meta weapons in the game. Like I said, it pretty much shares the same position with meta built M4s. This just has slightly worse overall stats, but it has that higher fire rate, meaning that you can pump out a good amount more bullets over the same amount of time as the M4, so it makes up a little bit for that slightly worse stat amount. And like I said, there will be a link in the description to the Tarkov Gunsmith website where you can go and see all the parts you need for this build and see updated prices for all those parts on the flea market. So subscribe if you want to see more Escape from Tarkov videos, leave a like if you liked the video, leave a comment down below what you guys think about this build, and thanks for watching.
Да вот! Нормально, нормально. Ну-ка, блядь, ты сюда ко мне. Не, я с пацанами за такое не тер. Граната тут!